So in this video, I'll show you how to create an invoice, how to make some edits to an invoice, how to save and send invoices as part of email, text messages, how to save an invoice in your local folder, and also the invoice in a journal. Look at the journal entries underlying an invoice. So first step is to click on the plus sign here, which is the create sign, and then click on invoice. I'll follow the memo on page 146 of your textbook, which is an invoice to Duke's basketball camp for $150 for weekly gardening service. So click on Duke's basketball camp, the address gets populated, the terms are populated. Make sure you have the correct date here. Generally, the system will default to the current dates. So change it to the date which is given in the memo. So the due date is populated based on the terms. So the product or service is gardening service and quantity 1 and rate 150. We will not use the tax button. That's outside the purview of this chapter. You should also remember that tax is usually levied only on inventory products and not on services. We will cover inventory later in the course. And then now let's look at some of the options here. So save and close, you all know. If you click here, you can see save and send. So what that does is emails the invoice to the customer. You can see a preview of the invoice. So this is not something I want you to do. I just wanted to show it to you so you can cancel out of that. The other option that you have here is save and share link, where the system creates a link for you which can be pasted in an email or in a text message, and it's very convenient to remind customers of payment for the invoice. Then I cancel out of that as well, and then I will save and close the invoice. So 1040, and then if you go back to sales, customers, and Duke's basketball camp, here you should see the invoice, which is right here. Click on it. How to save the invoice into your local drive? Click on that, print or preview. So once you get into this screen, use the download button here and to be able to save the invoice in your local folder. And here is where you save it. So you will name the invoice as your name, invoice, so and so, as instructed in your textbook, and you will click on save. Close out of that. Next step is to look at the journal behind the invoice. Reports My Accountant has the journal report. I changed the dates to 1/1/17. And this is the invoice that we just created. And if I look at the journal, so you see the accounts that are impacted, which is accounts receivable debit, and credit landscaping services, which is an income account. It's a service income account. I have mentioned in the modules the journal entries behind the various transactions. I want students to review the journal entries that are given in the module for each transaction. I also encourage students to always open the journal, analyze the transactions in a journal. So I'll stop my video here, and the next one will be how to make edits to an invoice.